Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Let's Play here on the HeavyBase channel. We're on the move today because we're going to be taking on the 6th dungeon of the game. We've conquered 5 dungeons, and now we need to take on the 6th. This is the simple dungeons before the final one, which is the most difficult of the lot, if you're playing as a new one. But, considering this is the equal amount of time that it takes to get to this one, well, let's just say it just gets a lot harder from here. And believe me, it does technically get a lot harder. This is the second dungeon that we're gonna need to use magic, because we're gonna be needing to we need to get a treasure inside the cave, which is gonna be important for us for our 7th trek. Which is the reason why I decided to sort the magic and I apparently glitched. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Apparently the game glitched out on me and killed all the enemies. Who fucking knew? Don't worry, this has been the last time we do this, so yeah, it just gets annoying after a while. Believe me, it kind of does. So where are we heading to for this adventure? Well, we're heading towards where the desert is in Hyrule, and it is effectively called, and I noticed as well, it is called the Misery Mire. The dungeon itself is a swamp dungeon. But I think I prefer calling it the dungeon. I'd prefer calling it the Misery Dungeon. Essentially. So yeah, the last time this has happened, what have I done? Oh my god, I've effectively played the best handheld Zelda I've ever got my freaking hands on. Hey, yeah, I actually beat freaking Link Between Worlds. Amazing. Not gonna lie, it is a worthy sequel to this game. Very worthy game in the sequel, and it makes me want to play the other lot too. Essentially, yeah, it makes me want to play the other games in this series. So, we shall now summon the duck and head towards point 6. Point 6 is where we use the Titan's Mitt to activate the portal here, which gives us access to the mire. This is the Misery Mire. It's a vast swamp area that normally is actually closed off, but it contains a few dungeons here. And a lot of other stuff as well. And I go hit there. So what happens here is that there's actually 2 secret things you can get here. If we just pull this shit off. Okay. Move that up, turn right, move that left. You can get a heart piece here. We're nearly to the end of the amount of heart pieces, because that's technically we got 3 more to get then. And effectively, we have gained every heart piece. So yeah, 3 heart pieces to go. Be very surprised how we're close to 20. So essentially, it's 2 heart pieces from 2 main dungeons and 3 heart pieces of a regular one. Here you'll find a fairy, which is going to help you heal your wounds. You kind of need it at this point. This is the last dungeon we're going to be using the tempered sword, might I add, as well. So. Before we can move on and clear up the swamp, we're gonna need to use the magic mirror and use it right here. This will in fact take us to the northeast part of the desert, which you normally can't get to. And then you can solve this little bit of a doohickey. Just keep pushing up, right, and right again, and you'll get heart piece that. We'll be down to 2. We got 2 more heart pieces to go, and that will be all for all of us. Right. So, how we're going to be able to move on to the next dungeon of the game? Well, if we go inside this cave and talk to the occupant inside this cave here, like this one, it'll tell you if you pay him 20 rupees, he'll tell you how to clear it up. Monster magic is making it rain in the swamp, so you need basically, you need something that clears the air. Ether is that magic, which is essentially wind magic. You need to find a certain point, though. It's the only way you can actually progress further. Now, if we go southeast here, you'll find that the Misery Mire is actually has blocked everything off. We go right round again. Boom. Nothing else is here. It's just basically a swampland. I happen to like what they did with the remake, where they involved the Misery Mire, which is in the remake, what they used for the remake, or what they didn't Use the other magic right on the other spot, and you'll find that the monster magic in the air dissipates when you use other clears it up, and you'll open up the next dungeon, which is of course the swamp, the Misery Mire. In we go. Dungeon 6 is actually not too hard. It contains the final item in the final. We have. You notice that we have 19 items in the game. Well, this is where we pick up the final one. It's gonna be kind of an interesting thing. I'll pretty much tell you when we get our hands on it. So, first off, we head towards basement 1 and make our way across. Introducing our new foes. These are Wizrobes. These are annoying fuckers, and you need to kill these. You need to kill every Wizrobe in the room. Every last one. Also, Beamos are around, so congratulations. I hate them. They suck. Fun how you pretty much depict every Beamos that existed. Yeah, let's go through the door here. Now, this is a multiple room dungeon, which is kind of what we're saying. This is like a 2-tiered dungeon that contains switches and everything else. First thing we need to do is head towards the... Well, first thing we do is head to the... Well, I would say head to the top right. Head through here. That's not going to be much to you, but it kind of, if you want 100% completion in this dungeon. From this point on, we just need to go across the rooms here, and then you'll find our first key here underneath that left pot there. Note to self. Okay, so kind of need to do here, right? To make it more fun, we're going to use the magic cape and get the switch activated. That switch will contain a second key. So yeah, we picked up 2 keys in the space of 1. Don't want to waste them all, do we? Head south, and you'll find there's not much to do there. True, there's not much to do, right? Shall we get... Let's see, do we... Yeah, we use the first key here and head towards the northern pass. There's not much of a room here. Just keep it on that for now. Head towards the top, head through this passage here, and then you'll find yourself right here. Go across this chasm way, note to self there. Yeah, this is a very complicated dungeon. You may get lost a lot when you're in this. You just pretty much follow where I'm going. And here's our first crystal switch. Make it turn it blue. It makes it easier. To make things a lot more better, you can actually use the, well, I would say pretty much use the magic cape. The magic cape is going to make things a lot easier for future dungeon crawling and shit. So, anything else I can do here? No? Just make sure I got everything. No? Magic spell? Make my monster grow. No. Right, so let's just go through here. Use one of the keys, go south. Find yourself here in the top part. Head towards the Wizrobe there, through that. Head south. Find yourself here. And kill off the guys there. The walls are fake, by the way. Not much point. You'll end yourself right there. Head south. And then go back east. And now that we have the switch, we can actually move that chest. We're gonna pick up our next regular key. You're probably thinking to yourself, are we gonna pick up our frickin' map? Kind of. See, kill the slug enemies because they plant bombs, and they hurt you a lot. Don't be a dick now. Right. I think this is a dead end room as well. Also, anti-fairy means one thing: magic powder. Oh no, we can't catch an anti-fairy. We can certainly try that and pick that up. Head towards the right here. Find yourself back where we were. That's probably a good idea where we're going next. A little bit of a stint here. Push the rock there and it'll take us right here. Takes us over here. And then, of course, when we go down there, we go towards there, we collect our first, and we pick up another key. I'm just thinking, so many fucking keys, where are we gonna pick them up? Yeah, this is a very confusing. You can get a lot of keys here. Right, let's head south. My screen went dead. If you want to do that, pretty much it gets confusing. I know it gets. I know you. Don't panic, by the way. Don't panic. For the love of God, don't panic. Okay, too many enemies in the room to deal with. Using bombers to clear the room out makes it easier to, you know, do stuff. Right, do that. Collect another key. Collect the key there. I can see where the problem's gonna be. Light the lanterns. Light them all. And avoid the bloody bricks at the same time. Head north. Now that we've clinched the item, we get the compass. Yeah, you're probably wondering, where's the frickin'... You're probably wondering, where is the boss? The boss is to the top left there. We already been there, so, yeah. We need to get our hands on the frickin', well, we need to get our hands on the dungeon map. True, we do. And now we can go through the doors automatically. Will this be essential? I believe so. I think we may have to react quickly, because we can now no longer go up. That's kind of superficial here. Avoid the slugs. Avoid the bomb. Avoid the green bombs. Green bombs are blue bombs are your friends. Green bombs are your enemies. Kind of a major essential point here. And these guys do that. Kind of need that, to be honest. The John Magic Potion? Oh yeah. Needing that bit. Right, in order to get our hands, now we're going to do a little bit of a challenge bit here in this part, in order to get our hands on the, key. So, how do we beat this? Well, we'll take out the Wizrobe ambush that we got here. And, we need to make some room, and quick room too, because, well, if we can bloody make sure. And of course, Wizrobes are going to keep appearing. You can't really stop them. I'm just thinking, what can I do? Well, gonna need to make this a lot easier. Believe me, this is gonna make... You need the fire rod for this one. We're gonna be doing or you could do the fire rod, or you could do this by lamp, but you really need to be quick for the lamp. And all you need to do is, well, for the moment, just make room. Push the blocks, you see the blocks like this? Well, we need to do them. And then we just take a look where we're going. See, here's the advice thing from Charla. You must set the 4 torches on in order to turn them on. It's just the Wizrobes are going to keep fucking disrupting. Right, here we go. Use the you either use the lamp or the fire rod here. You just need to do this. And then essentially you can hear an explosion and the wall moving forward, which is very important here, and I might add very important, because that's going to signal you actually doing something important. Right, now that we got that out of the way, the Wizrobes will be pissed off. Don't go down those passages, they pretty much just bit. Now the thing's gone huge. Head down this passageway. Clinch, pick this up. You now have the big key. That's going to be very important in a bit. Note this out. So, back we go using the magic mirror. We can go back to start this all over again. Resets the dungeon a bit. But we now have 2 spare keys. Kind of important here. Also, we need to do, since we didn't pick up the dungeon map, which is kind of not really optional here. Maps? They didn't do maps in and the one thing I'm glad they got rid of in the new Zelda is the dungeon map. Dungeon maps used to be traditional. You had to pick them up. Otherwise you'd be stuck in the dungeon. Not this time. They pretty much put the map in the bottom of the DS and you're pretty much fine with it. I call that a big massive improvement. Very big improvement actually. Using the cane, moving it up here, you'll get yourself with a treasure chest. And the treasure is the Cane of Samaria. If it's going to be very useful. This is essentially, my computers. It is essentially a magic cane that allows you to basically it can create a block. A magic block. But how useful it is? Well, if you're going to run out of blocks to use, so the Samaria cane is pretty much the one that creates all the blocks for you. Considering there are no movable blocks in the final dungeon. Oh, before we move on, turn that back to blue. You're welcome, by the way. You're gonna need that in a bit. Head back to the east point here. You'll climb up the stairs, and you'll be able to use the spare key here, which we will use. It'll give us the dungeon map, which we didn't get earlier. Just want to make sure we're 100% certain. Of course, I didn't want to go south or west. Well, that'd be lazy. Now, our initial dungeon is we have to go through basement 2 in order to get through to the actual location of the dungeon. Or rather, location of the boss room. Which is going to be an interesting boss. I know this. Let's finish it. Now that we have the Cane of Samaria, we can actually put it to good use in about a little bit. I know for a fact. Just want to make sure you guys are patient, because I know it's going to be very interesting. Let's just stick to the last, say 6 minutes of this part. Let's go through the last bits of the dungeon. Let's go through the bits we didn't get to see. Through here, technically, is a room that we didn't check out before. Head to the west. Go south, like so. Yeah, that's it. Head back up for the what we got for the freaking key again. Now that we don't need the freaking. Really don't need that bit. Seriously, we don't really need that. Let's see. Interesting that we're going around the outside of the crystals instead of the main one. Well, we all know what. Well, this is the maiden that we saw in the intro. Pretty much get turn into a freaking crystal. Go through the portal, then use the big key. Move on to this room here. Go keep using big keys there. Go use the big key here. Go for the main passage. This one at least. And you'll be able to move on to the next bit of the dungeon, which is, of course, basement 2. Right. This is what you need to do, since there is no move. Now, as I mentioned before, there is no movable blocks. Also, you can use the final key that we have here to gain the last secret, which is the secret room and blah and all that. Right. Time to use the Cane of Samaria. How does it work? Well, magic spells aside, this is what you do. Normally you can't use that. So, use the magic book, magic cane, the Cane of Samaria, creates a block out of pure magic which allows you to push the switch. Mind I tell you, it's fucking dark as fucking balls in here. I can't fucking see for shit. Let's fumble around in the darkness and head west, essentially. Go west, young Link. Just not that west. Just not too far. Right. Time to use a cane of burner to effectively make our way across. Or I could just use the magic cane. Use the hookshot here to effectively hit that crystal switch and turn it back to pink, which effectively allows us to cross the bloody gap. But you're probably wondering how we're going to get through this next bit. Well, there's actually a hidden room to the north, as you can see on the map here. That's probably going to help us. Let's go through this one, which essentially there should be a hidden room there. Which it is. Good. That is good. Technically we can cross that. Hit the crystal switch here and it'll take you, pretty much takes down that barrier. We can now effectively go west. So, what does that, we're in the final room by the way, surrounded by all these enemies. We still have more crystal switches to hit. Turn that switch back to red from blue, and you'll thank me in a bit, because we're gonna effectively go through this one. And now we can finally move on to boss number 6. This is Argus. This is essentially a simple boss. If you upgrade your sword to level frickin', I don't know, say up to level 3, you can actually technically you can avoid the lightning attacks. Essentially, what it does is the main eye here, that is your boss. That's Argus. And since you pretty much kill the eyes, this is actually one of the easiest bosses of the game. All you have to do is swipe at the perfect timing, and it'll die in about 7 hits, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and he is a joke. Not gonna lie. Sorry, Argus, you're cool, but come on, dude. Seriously. And that is it. Crystal number 6 is yours. We've just saved the maiden that we saw in the intro getting crystallized by frickin' Agneheim. So what does the 6th maiden say? So what does Crystal Maiden 6 have to say? Apart from thanking you because you can escape from the evil monsters. Blah 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 and all that. Yeah, of course. Ganon catches because he couldn't break the seal of the wise man with his power alone. Really? But then using the wizard Agneheim as his pawn, he drew us to the dark world, cracking the seal with our powers. He sealed us into the crystals. He then gave them to his loyal monsters, but Ganon didn't really plan on getting you this far. Now the last maiden is Princess Zelda, and the final dungeon is the infamous Turtle Rock. Oh great, Turtle Rock. Ugh. 6 dungeons down, 1 dungeon remaining, and the final location of dungeon number 6. After we effectively save our game and quit, is that we have to now go to Death Mountain, to the top right of Hyrule, and to take on those fucking lion things. God damn it, I hate those guys. Well, see you guys in the next part. The road to Turtle Rock begins.